I guess I must have been like 7 or 8 years old. My dad took me to a drag race, and I got an opportunity to sit in a AA fuel dragster, and that was kind of it.
Yeah.
Back when I was starting in Calgary, there was 2 channels.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'd be able to watch Wide World of Sports on Saturday morning, and there would be the occasional 2-minute report on Formula One from Europe, and it fascinated me.
All right, welcome to Founder Mode.
Yeah, we're going to take a little different approach today. What are we doing, Kev?
We're out here at Laguna Seca racing formula cars.
Like one of the most famous raceways in the world.
Yep, and getting warmed up here. We're just doing some practice laps. We're going to get out on the track and do some full speed laps after lunch.
Yeah.
But just getting ready to go.
And then the cool thing we got to do today is we're going to have a conversation with Allen Berg, who is the founder of Allen Berg Racing Schools. He's been racing cars for, 40 plus years, 50 years.
For a long time.
And
his whole life, since he was 7.
Since he was 7 years old, he's racing cars. The funniest thing, though, that they said while we were learning about this is that these cars were designed for little Italian children.
Children.
And we are 2 large American men.
Yeah, but it works. We fit in there. We've already done our practice laps.
We did our practice laps.
Jason, did you stall? Not.
I did.
Okay, I spun.
You spun, I stalled, but I only got one note, which was I got to do the clutch. I got to be slower on the clutch.
Easy on the clutch. Yeah, the clutch is pretty aggressive on these cars.
It's clutch.
No power steering.
Yeah.
Manual brakes. Carbon, they got to warm up the tires, warm up the brakes.
You feel everything.
So, it's been good.
Yeah, I think for me, the thing that the reason why this is founder mode for me is like driving a formula car is like running a startup in that it's like all gas, little brakes, so much like you're feeling the road under you. You're gonna potentially hit the wall, so like maybe pull off, but you don't want to back off the gas at all. You just want to keep.
Yeah, there's this sense of like a little bit of nervousness of trying to get it to go right and everything's there, but you're also excited when you get in the straightaway. You just pound it and you're like go, and then you're like, all right, how do I control this? And then if you push it too hard, you lose control. And so it's this finding that sort of barrier of control of like what is that sort of borderline where you're like I'm just not yet out of control but able to keep it in control and keep it going, and then more importantly keeping that momentum to carry it through all these turns, right? Because that's part of what we've learned in this first one was like, wow, if you really keep that momentum in too late, you're going to lose control and lose it in one of the corners.
Yeah, and if your business is cranking and things are working, just keep up that momentum. Yeah. Right? Should we go talk to Allen?
Let's do it. You're like ready to get in the car. Bro, just relax. We got a little school to do first.
I wanted to get used to them on my hands, how things feel. You know?
How it feels? You want to
I was going to do some light gardening.
Yeah.
Doesn't do very much.
No, I know.
Gardening, that's
no, I know. Yeah. I got these the other day. I like these. These are nice because I get a lot of good feel.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
That's good.
The guy who taught me my stick shift lesson this week was like, these are the ones to get. These are great driving shoes.
You just learned to drive stick?
Yeah, this week.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
First time?
He was emailing with Allen about it. I was like, hey, do you have anything that's not a stick? He's like, no.
Yeah.
This is a race car.
Yeah.
This isn't like...
Yeah. This guy grew up on a farm, so a lot of stick shifts out there. So, yeah.
With race cars, they're going more towards the paddle shift these days.
Yeah.
They're always in the basic levels of racing.
You gotta understand.
And even higher levels in vintage cars and in stock car racing, they have manual transmission cars. It's all.
Yeah. So the F1s, the Formula One stuff today is all paddle.
It's all paddle.
With clutch or clutchless?
Clutchless.
Yeah.
Clutchless.
How long have you been doing this, Allen?
I've been doing the racing school about 18 years now.
18 years.
Incredible.
Nice.
You're now illegal. It's legal to vote and go to war. The racing school, 18 years.
Yes, I guess exactly right. So
So always doing this track, or do you guys rotate out? It's always here.
We do other programs.
Okay, but this school is here.
This school is here. The school is here. We do corporate safety training programs for different manufacturers and other groups.
Yeah.
Fleets, and
Incredible.
We do some police training as well.
Nice.
Like
but the Formula
emergency
car
stuff.
Yes, driver accident avoidance. And but the Formula car stuff is here. This is the best track in the country to do this at.
I mean, this might be the best track in the country, period.
Yes.
I mean, there's a few places in the world that are at this level. It's like Nürburgring, which is too long, honestly, and then you've got a couple in Tokyo, and you could close the streets in Monaco, right? Like, there's a couple places where
it's really just.
It's this royalty.
It's been around for 60 years, and so being able to do this sort of experience here is a pretty cool thing for people. We have people that come from, across the country.
Yeah, our group, we've got a guy from North Carolina today.
We've had drivers come in from Japan. In the fall, he flew across to do the program.
Flew back.
And then went home again. And then he came across and did some racing with us.
Nice.
We have a racing team that's based on the East Coast as well too.
Where do those guys race out of? Just all over the East Coast? They travel?
We have our team runs in 2 national racing championships, open wheel racing championships.
Nice. And what
mainly
like where did you
mainly on the East Coast?
Where did you fall in love with cars? When was the moment where you're like, this is all I'm going to ever do? This is the thing for me.
I guess I must have been like 7 or 8 years old. My dad took me to a drag race, and I got an opportunity to sit in a AA fuel dragster, and that was kind of it. Back when I was starting in Calgary, there was 2 channels. And we'd be able to watch Wide World of Sports on Saturday morning, and there would be the occasional 2-minute report on Formula One from Europe, and it fascinated me. So it just was.
You're hooked.
Kind of.
You must be kind of like floored by the just explosive growth of Formula One. Netflix Drive to Survive. All of a sudden, everyone in the world is a Formula One fan. What does that do for you guys here and for you? Like, how do you feel about all that?
It's great. Because certainly now there is. Just a lot more awareness of what racing is in general. Driven by Formula One, and really, the internet, of course, started created an awareness of it, and then Drive to Survive really created a much bigger market and awareness in the United States, and I think that's been huge, and that's why there are 3 Formula One races.
And has that pushed it into your guys' school? Are you seeing enrollment and interest in the school growing around that?
Even before then, our programs, the number of programs that we operate here, they're almost always completely sold out. It's been like that for a few years, but this certainly supplemented it. For sure.
We're so excited to be here. I've been a car guy since I was a little kid, and I grew up in Chicago. We'd go to the Chicago Auto Show with my dad and my little brother and I every single year, and then we've always been into cars. My brother has a 458. I had a Nissan GTR. That was the first car I ever tracked,
really?
and but never driven an open wheel Formula car. I don't know if for folks who've never been inside or been close to one, describe it. What's it like?
Well, it's very raw. I don't know is one way to be able to put it. The cars are purpose built for driving on a racetrack. There is no traction control or ABS. There's no power steering. The cars are built for speed and for performance. On a closed a closed track like this 2.5 mile racetrack. That's what they're for. And it's really the true starting point for anyone that wants to get involved with racing. And going to a racing school is something that, to get a racing license, it's the fundamental step in autosport. So we provide racing licenses for those that are.
And so you get them started, give them the license,
and then they move on.
It's like getting a pilot's license, Kevin.
Go through the steps, right?
Yeah, that's right. So it all starts from there, and a Formula car is the best platform to be able to learn from, because of the fact that there is no traction control.
It's just you're just you in the car,
and the correct technique. There's a specific technique to driving
a
car that needs to be covered off, and what you can learn in our school and Formula cars apply to other different types of cars, versus if you go to a driving experience that have road cars that you can run on the track with the traction control. Well,
this takes away a lot of the safety, a lot of the automation, so it forces you to get really native with the understanding and form and kind of fundamentals.
You learn the correct technique. You learn the correct technique, and then you're able to apply it to a lot of other different.
We're going to school today.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I want to learn. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
So look, Allen, we kind of just grabbed you and like kind of forced you into talking to us, but we do this podcast called Founder Mode, and we interview entrepreneurs and founders about building their businesses. You know, if you were to give advice to your younger self or somebody else who's like, I want to build a business around racing cars, you know, kind of getting out there and doing this sort of thing, what's your advice to folks out there doing stuff like this?
Well, you know, you have to look at the big picture and a long term to be able to see where you really want to take. You have to be realistic in your expectations, and just like anything else, when you are starting a business, you need to make sure you develop a market for it.
Yeah.
Right? That's the most important thing, is to make sure there is a market.
Seems like there's a pretty good market for this. There's a room full of people in there waiting for you.
Let's get in and do it.
Let's do it. Thank you, Allen. Appreciate you. Nice to meet you.
Well, welcome. Great to have you.
Thanks, man.
Dude, this was so fun. I remember putting on my tracksuit being like, how am I going to go to the bathroom in this?
Yeah, I actually tried right after, and it was actually not that hard. There's like a zipper.
Yeah, there's the whole thing. And then they took us out there. They showed us how to like use the cars. And do you remember the blip? They're like, oh, when you shift, you have to like keep one foot on the brake and blip the gas so that you can rev match. That was too hard.
Heel toe shifting. And the tricky part there was like what they wanted you to do was just practice like one downshift. I actually went for all three and ended up in the gravel, which I was the first.
Yeah, you were the first one to spin. There's my spin right there. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and I tried to like get myself out, couldn't do it, and I had to raise the hand.
Thumbs up, dude. Thumbs up for safety. Like I'm alive. I like it.
Yeah, I lived to tell the tale.
Dude, back on the track.
Yeah.
I
mean, this was like a top 5 life event for sure, and I watched two of my kids.
The corkscrew, dude, epic.
Yeah,
coming through this thing.
Yeah, the corkscrew, amazing. I mean, the other thing we got to talk about, Laguna Seca, like literally racetrack royalty, like one of the best in the world.
Yeah, pretty amazing. I remember, it's funny, after I shared with my mom I was going there, she's like, do you remember the time we drove out there and went to watch a race? And I was like, damn, as a kid, I totally remember. And she like took us there to go watch a race when we were kids, and I think it was just me and her because I was really into like racing as a kid, and so like to come back now and see it, and honestly I'd literally forgot about that moment until she reminded me, so I got to go back and try to find some pictures.
Incredible. High fives all around. Best time.
Yeah, such a fun trip. Dude, that was an incredible interview, and what a wild day.
Yeah, and like, I mean, just getting out there on the track and feeling that road, feeling those curbs, and like trying not to hit stuff or spin out and hit a wall.
I hit a couple cones on those last two.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely a day.
You looked good out there while you were doing it.
Same. You were out there pushing it, and it was fun. It definitely was easier actually at speed than it was doing the slow speed in the pits here. It was actually tricky to keep these cars running.
I like to go fast. We have to say a couple thank yous. One, Allen Berg Racing Schools and Allen Berg for joining us.
Yes.
2, Hampton for this incredible event and for putting this together. I think one of the Hampton members was like, "Hey, I want to do this thing," and they're like, "Sure, we're gonna go to Laguna Seca."
Wow,
like, insane.
Yeah, it's been fun.
What's like the big thing you're taking away from today, Kev?
I think the other one that I took away was the addition. We did another little thing out there where we were doing like kind of skid pad, kind of
skid with the minivans.
Yeah, we took minivans with skid tires and we got and kind of broke them loose and got drifting. And then charted recovery. Yeah. And part of it was interesting because like there was this balance between how much gas you could put in and more importantly, it was all about control and steering and just look where you need to go. And so I think, again, picking it back to business, right? It's like, look where you need to go, focus on the, prize, don't look behind you, don't look left and right, don't worry about competitors, don't worry about what else is going on in the world. Dude, what is focused on your business and what are your goals and how are you going to go attack?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. If you enjoyed this episode of Founder Mode and you're into cars, and you know some other car guys like us that would enjoy this, please share it with them. Like, subscribe, leave us a comment, leave us a review, and we will see you next time. Who knows where we're going to be?
That's it for today. And remember, if you're racing, all gas, no brakes.